to another Brahma Fitness workout. Today's Pilates is going to be entirely on the ground. So if you've got a mat, fantastic, you don't necessarily need one, but if it's a hard surface, I'd recommend one. Carpet is absolutely fine though. So if you haven't done my Pilates sessions before, I have got a quick intro video that I'd recommend that you watch first. If you've watched it or if you've been before, if you've done it before, fantastic, let's just get warmed up quickly. Some shoulder rolls. Hopefully it's nice where you are. You can do this outside if you want to. One more. And then you're going to bring your hands into prayer position. You're going to rotate around to one side. Bring it back. Taking it around to the other side. Bring it back. It's not a big movement, but just warming up through your spine. Doing this in a seated position does make sure that your hips aren't moving, which is a bit better compared to when we're stood up. Just one more to each side, and then from there we're going to go into the plank. So, plank position, hands underneath your shoulders, up onto your toes. Your alternative is to go on to your elbows or to drop to your knees. So I'm going to hold it up on my wrists. Like I say, if you've got problems with your wrists, go on to your elbows. Just takes that pressure away a little bit. You want nice big deep breaths as you hold in that position. Keep your core nice and strong. We're just going to do a few more seconds here, and then we're going to go into the side plank after this. And relax there. Just push it back slightly. Just quickly into that child's pose. Like I said, we're then going to go into a side plank. But again, options are to go onto your elbow. You can go up onto your wrist if you want to. Taking it up, hips up nice and high. If you want to drop that underneath knee, you can do. Alternatively, take it up either with one foot in front of the other, with both feet stacked. So holding that position, hips nice and high. If you're struggling in that position, just drop your underneath knee rather than bringing it down completely. Again, nice big deep breaths. I'm going to do a few more seconds here. A little bit harder to hold this one than the standard plank. And drop it down. Brilliant. Just quick mermaid stretch over that side before we move on to the other side. So exactly the same, but on the other side. So taking it up into your chosen position. Nice and strong. If you prefer to have your arm up, that's absolutely fine. On your top arm anyway. I prefer mine on my hip. Just make sure that underneath hip's really lifted. You're not, if you find yourself creeping lower, bring them back up or drop your underneath knee if you need to, just to make sure you're in that correct position. Few more seconds here. Use that breath. Excellent, drop it down. And again, mermaid stretch over to the side. Nice, stretch that over through your side of your body. Okay, from here we're going to go into a Spider-Man. So you're going to go back to your plank position that we had initially. Ideally on your wrists, but you can go to your elbows, and you're going to take one knee up and bring it back. The reason why I say ideally on your wrists is just to give your knees a little bit more moving room. If you're on your elbows, there's not as much room for your knees to come out to the side. If you have got problems with your wrists though, do go down onto those wrists. You can do it from your knees as well. So if you're doing that modified version, you can still take your knees out to the side. Exhale as you bring it up. Inhale as you take it back. One more each side. And drop to your knees. Push it back slowly. And then bring yourself back up into a tabletop position. So your hands are underneath your shoulders. Your knees are underneath your hips. As you look through the gap in your knees, you shouldn't be able to see your feet. From here, big inhale. Exhale and take one arm and the opposite leg out and bring it down. Exhale as you take it out. Inhale as you bring it back. You want to make it harder. Bring your hand and knee together. But the focus is to keep your upper body completely still. Feeling it in that shoulder. Last one. And bring it back. Give that arm a little shake. And we're going to take it onto the other side. Exhale as you take it out. Inhale as you bring it back. Nice and controlled. You've got to use that core to make sure you're not wobbling around all over the show. Good. Keep that going. If you need to place your hand and knee down at any point, if it's too much pressure on your wrist, just rest it down for a second before you continue. Just one more. Pull myself then. And bring it back down. Okay, take yourself onto your bum with your knees up in front. From here you're going to lean back slightly. Lift your feet up into a boat position. If you need to place your hands behind you, then you can do. And from here, you're going to extend one leg out, bring it back. To make it harder, take your hands off the floor. Exhale as you take it out. Inhale as you bring it back. If you want to make it harder still, do double leg. Not moving that upper body. Use that breath. Just give me one more. And relax forward, folding over your arms. From here, similar starting position, so leaning back, your hands are now going to be stacked as you rotate round to one side and bring it back. You want to make it harder, lift those feet up. Bringing one shoulder round to the other side of the room. Rather than just moving your arms, you're not just moving your arms. Really rotating through that upper body. Lovely. We're just going to do one more to each side now. Relax. Fold yourself forward. Perfect. Okay, arms up in front now, and we're going to roll back. And sit yourself up. So we are moving quite quickly through these exercises. If you want to, you can pause and do a few more of each one, or of particular ones. So as you roll back, you're curving that spine, rolling down, making sure you keep the top part of your back off the floor, and roll it back up. So you're just going as low as you can, just making sure you can still come back up to the top with that nice control, keeping your feet on the floor. So now you're going to roll all the way down to the mat. Move myself up a little bit actually. So all the way down to the mat or to the carpet, wherever you are. And this time, hands by your temples or just behind your head. You're going to curl up and take it down. Exhale as you come up. Inhale as you bring it down. Imagine you're bringing your ribs to your hips. You're keeping that eye line up to the ceiling. If you want to make it harder, lift those legs up into tabletop position. Make sure your neck's staying in line with your spine and you're not just pulling your neck towards your belly button. Just give me one more, and then we're going straight from that into an oblique curl up. So you're going to take yourself around to one side and bring it back. Remember, you can place your feet on the floor if you need to. Having the knees lifted, it's just having that extra bit of stability, extra bit of work for your core. Reaching up and over, opposite shoulder. Imagine you're trying to get that opposite shoulder over to your knee. Really rotating round each time. One more now to the other side. And bring your feet down to the ground. Brilliant. Relax it there. Bring your hands by your side. Take your knees back into that tabletop position or into it if you weren't there from the last exercise. You're now going to extend one leg out and bring it back. Exhale as you extend. Inhale as you bring it back. If you want to make it harder, bring your upper body, or your head and shoulders, one leg off the mat or off the floor. Using that breath. If you're struggling with your neck, you can place your hands behind your head. Stability. Bit of rest on that neck. We're going to do one more on each leg. Last one now. And bring your knees in. Nice tight ball. Which is going to be our starting position for our next exercise. So from here you're going to extend both your arms and your legs out and bring them back in. So you can keep your head grounded if you want to, and just take those legs as low as you can. The difficulty on this is just basically how close to the floor your legs are. So you can make it a bit harder by keeping your head and shoulders off the floor as well though. If you find your back's really arching, just don't take your feet quite as low. So you've really got to control your back as well. Enjoy that stretch in between. Last one. And stretch it there in a ball. Curl it up. Fabulous. From there, sit your underneath, roll yourself over onto your side, then take your underneath arms, obviously it depends which way you're lying, out. You're going to rest your head on that underneath arm, legs out straight, lift and lower that top leg. If you need to, you can bend your underneath leg for a bit of extra stability. If you want to make it harder, straighten out your leg and take your top arm away from the floor. That makes you a little less stable. So your core's got to work hard to make sure you're staying in that long line. Make sure you're not in a banana shape and your hand, you shouldn't be able to see that underneath hand. Use that breath. Make sure your waist is lifted underneath, should be a gap there. Making sure that your spine's in line. Last one. And from here you're going to keep your foot in line with your hip. And from there you're going to take it forward and bring it back to centre. Exhale as you take it forward, inhale as you bring it back. You might be feeling it in that hip by now. That's the aim. Exhale, inhale back. Even harder to keep yourself stable if you've not got that hand in front of you from this position. But use that control. Stop yourself wobbling around. One more. And relax, bring your knee up, give it a rub if you need to. Got one more exercise on this side before we switch sides. So from here, you might want to place your hand in front for this one. You're going to lift both legs together. So if your knee was bent before, it needs to be straight as you lift and lower through out. Both legs at a time, at the same time even. You want to test yourself, take that hand away. You're going to get into your obliques as well as into those hips. And using that underneath leg as well, working the inside of your leg. Still using that breath. Lovely. We're going to do one more. And bring your knees up, stretching it out. Give it a rub and a bang if you need to. Okay. From there, you're going to do the same 3 exercises again on the other side. Can't leave the other leg out. I'm going to bend my underneath elbow just because I'm restricted with where the wall is. But from here, you're going to lift and lower. Ideally, you'll have your arm out straight and you're resting your head on your underneath arm. The reason being is so that you've got your neck in line with your spine. Lift that waist underneath, keeps your spine in a nice long line. And if you want to make this harder, don't bring your feet completely together and rest in between. So you should have said that on the other side. Exhale as you lift, inhale as you lower. It's not about how high you lift your leg, it's getting into them hips. The higher you lift your leg, the more chance you've got of twisting your hips. Your hips need to stay in a nice long line. One more. And keeping that leg up and in line with your hip. This time as you take it forward and bring it back. You might find this side's easier, you might find it's harder. You've generally got one side that's more dominant than the other side. And it'll be easier or harder depending on which side you're on. You might be feeling it a bit sooner in this one. Keep it going. I know it's probably burning by now, but just work through that burn. Use your breath. Again, going back to the intro video, if you've watched that or if you've been to the classes, I'll explain breathing a bit more. Fabulous. Relax that leg down into the double leg lift now. So lift and lower both legs together. You want to make it harder, don't place your legs fully on the ground in between each one. The last one on this side. We've got one more exercise to do and then we are done. And last one here. And relax it down and roll yourself forward so you're on your tummy. So from here into a back extension. So you're going to lift up using that lower back and take yourself down. If you want to make it harder, take your hands with you. Keep your eye line facing forwards and down. So you're not lifting your neck up like this, you're keeping it all in line. Exhale as you lift, inhale as you lower. I'm just taking my head to the side so that I'm looking at the camera. But your head should be facing the mat or the carpet, the floor, wherever you are, grass even if you're outside. It's nice enough. Just do me one more here. And relax. Fabulous. Push up into Cobra. Quick little stretch, but that's your Pilates done for today. Hope you feel good for that. Push yourself over into child's pose. Relax it there. And sit yourself up. Lovely. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, have a look on our channel at the other videos that we've got there. Family, kids, Pilates, bit of stretching on there as well, so if you want to do a bit of extra stretching after this workout or any other workouts, have a look. We've got a bit of maintenance stretching and developmental stretching on there, so take a look. Send us your pictures as always. We really like to see what you guys are doing and that you're doing our workouts. It's at Brahma Fitness on Instagram and Facebook. And thank you very much. Hopefully we'll see you soon for another workout.